Miscellaneous minds, never explaining the minds. Devilish grin for my alias, aliens who respond. Peddling sin, thinking maybe when you get old you realize I'm not gonna fold or demise. I don't smoke crack, motherfucker, I sell it.
What is going on, everybody? This is the Miscellaneous Lines Podcast. I'm your co-host, Pumal Gato, the cat that hands you your naval expedition back. And to my right over here is the main man sitting there, the man that makes the fat stacks. Together we form that dynamic duo that won't die. Deadly ideas, broad and spicier content, your girls' only fans.
What is going on, everybody? Please, before we get into tonight's topic, make sure to like, comment, hate, subscribe. I looked at the stats. About 93% of you that watch our videos are not subscribed. Please subscribe. We appreciate you. The 27 of you that have, please help us grow the channel. It means the world to us. It would mean even more to us. And I promise you we're going to do some fan things once we get to the first 100. I promise you we're going to do some giveaways. I'm going to put up my own money out of my own pocket to make sure that you guys get some of that that beautiful love, some of that beautiful respect that you guys will get for getting us to 100. And with that, let's get into tonight's topic. So, one of the things that everybody's been talking about this week is the submersible that has gone missing, Titan, that was supposed to be going down to sea, the Titanic, down in its ruins. Now, we've seen a number of things that have been said by a lot of people. I will be honest with you, I don't agree with them. A lot of people are saying, oh, these guys are rich a-holes. Fuck them. They deserve it. So on and so forth. Some people have said, oh, this is what happens when you skimp and you try to be a rich asshole and not try to get, everybody their money's worth, so on and so forth. Number of different negative things like that. Listen, I'll be honest with you. I'm not the biggest fan of corporate greed. I am not the biggest fan of rich assholes. I have known quite a few in my day. Unfortunately, I've worked for quite a few in my day. I've had it out with quite a few in my day. With that being said, listen, this is somebody's family, man. These are somebody's kids, somebody's husband, so on and so forth. I think if we're going to go down this road of not giving them sympathy simply because they are ultra rich, why should the ultra rich have any sympathy for the rest of us? And mind you, they don't. I'm not standing up for them, but there are some rich people that truly are actually good people. So that's why I said let's not just outright dismiss them just because they're rich, but let's also be realistic about the situation. We're going to talk a little bit about the things that we read as far as the vehicle itself, the Titan that actually went down. I'm going to let my man take over a little bit, talk a little bit about some of the things that he read, and then I'll jump into it. Go ahead and tell him, my man, what you read about this submersible, and let's see what you got.
Was it actually called the Titan?
It was called the Titan.
Okay, I already have some words about that. Anyways, so apparently there was a submersible, again, like he talked about. It was going to be a naval expedition, again, for, the rich, people that wanted to see it. That was going to go down to the Titanic. The Titanic, again, if you haven't seen the movie or read up any history or whatever, is at the bottom of the sea about 2.5 miles into the ocean with atmospheric pressure basically killing you unless you're in a submersible. Anyways, this submersible itself, which the CEO is indeed in at this current moment, apparently reports have been coming out about some very infamous things about it, generally regarding the actual build of the submersible itself. Stuff from ranging like some of the gauges and some of the levers. Basically, I don't think they even have any levers. I think it's legit just sticker and some markers saying, okay, this knob does this knob does that. Don't push this.
I don't know if it's that cartoony, but pretty damn close.
I've legit seen it where it's like, does it really look like this? And people were like, yes, I've been in submersibles. It really does look like that. Kind of dangerous because, I'm gonna go explain. I'm gonna come back to that. Anyways, so one of the other things that was discussed on there, which I had this little prop right here. One of the most infamous reports about that was that the submersible was being controlled with a controller not unlike this one. The infamous part about that is that people said it was being controlled with a PlayStation controller or something to that effect. And so people said, all right, that's already kind of concerning. And they said, wait, it gets worse. It's not an ordinary PS4 controller. It's legit one of the third-party ones. The Mad Cats, the Logitechs. Something you would give to your cousin that you didn't really want playing Sonic 2 with you on. And you're just like, all right, here. Take this real quick. You play it. I don't care. Something like that. That's what's being used to steer the submersible itself.
It's funny because it's actually a Logitech $30 controller. Somebody actually found it.
Yeah, I remember seeing that. Anyways, couple things about that. The fact that some people were saying, okay, that's what submersibles usually look like. It's usually sticky tape and marker, basically defining what some of the knobs do and what some of the knobs don't. Yes, you could say it's jerry-rigged, but it's not really jerry-rigged. All submersibles are like that. Which, I don't know how you know confidence building works, but that doesn't exactly help. Like that video of like the John Oliver video about some of the atomic bombs being held together by 256 megabytes, and computers that were basically from the 80s is what's the only thing that's keeping our atomic arms in check. That's fucking terrifying. Why would you tell me that? Why would you tell me that infrastructure secrets like that are being held together by basically not even a USB stick full of information? It's crazy. And like the jerry rigging stuff itself, again, it doesn't build a whole lot of confidence, especially when regarding the Submersible CEO itself. Basically came out and said, yes, we skimped out on the safety because we're already safe enough. Like if we can save some money, we can save some money. Which, on all the things that you can skimp out on, why would you skimp out on safety? It's the equivalent of, look, man, I'm already a good driver. We don't need seatbelts. We don't need airbags. Why would we waste the money on that? Which, if you think you're saving money on that, eventually it's gonna come back around to bite you. At some point, you're gonna realize, yeah, we probably should have skimped on the door being able to open from not just the outside.
Listen, man, I'll be honest with you. I don't know what it costs to make one of these bad boys. I don't know what it costs to maintain, to send these people on this voyage. Here's the thing. This is one of those rich people things, right? This is one of those things where only rich people can do it. Apparently, I believe it's $250,000 per individual to get into this little cramped minivan and go down there. So here's my thing. If you're really that hard up, right? Like if you say to yourself, oh, it just costs so much money to maintain. It's just such a pricey endeavor. Like, listen, you're already only targeting the super rich. Why not just say, look, listen, I'm gonna upgrade this bad boy. You guys are gonna have to fucking pay me $500,000 per person, and then you guys can go down there, and then at least you can say, hey, look, it's safe. It's weird that like somebody that's into the taking the money of the super rich is gonna be skimping out on these things. And here's the thing: it's not even just me and my man here saying it. Apparently, they had an individual on there who was like some sort of safety inspector or some individual that inspected the craft, who many years ago said, "Hey, this isn't safe. This this shouldn't be. This should only go down to a depth of 1,800 meters max or something like that." And I guess throughout the years, because of the wear and tear that it had, they brought that down and brought that down and brought that down. Where the Titanic is way below that 1,800 meter range. It's funny because it's like, yo, you're already targeting the super rich. Like if someone will give you $250,000 to get into this cramped vehicle, they'll give you $500,000. What's the problem? Like you're already giving a luxury item to people that can clearly freaking afford it. Because one individual took himself and his son on there, so clearly these people can afford it. So why skimp out? Why skimp out on all these things? And it's funny because again, like you don't need to skimp. You don't need to do all these weird things. And the CEO or the owner or whatever said, oh no, we've met with NASA and we've met with the Navy and we've met with blah 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 and all this type of thing. Well, listen, it's weird to me that if that's in fact the case, because I don't know if it is, I'm just taking the man at his word. If that's in fact true, why did your own safety inspector, which right after he said that, by the way, they fired him, they literally walked him out of the building apparently. Why is it so run down? Why is it so beat up? Why is it such an issue? Like, what's the problem with that type of stuff? It's weird to me because, again, you're already targeting people that have all the money in the goddamn world. Why not just charge them a little bit more so that you can actually make the device safe? And listen, I don't know how many trips the Submersible took. For all I know, I might have done 1 billion trips and no issues. But here's the thing. You got to think after a while, there's probably going to be some wear and tear on that bad boy. Especially because if what everyone that I've heard talk about is in fact telling the truth, that when you get down to that level of pressure under the sea, you can literally be crushed like a grape. So again, why not actually, splurge some of that, 250 per person K, especially because I guess 5 people go down in it. Why not splurge some of that 250K or 1 million plus per, visit and actually make the thing safe? It's weird to me. But listen, again, I get it. A lot of us that have what we believe to be common sense are going to say, why? What for? I was actually talking to my girl earlier, and we're talking about everything that was going on. And I told her, if my ass was down there, would you try and save my ass? And she said, I wouldn't let you go. It's stupid. Which I agree. Like me, as a normal, regular person, I think to myself, listen, I get the want to do cool shit completely. I completely understand it. But something this level of dangerous on something that I guess a lot of people have said, hey man, this isn't safe. Why do it? It's funny because the guy that took him and his son on there, apparently one of his friends was actually going to go as well. But that guy actually did his research and he said, no, I'm not going. This thing isn't safe. So that man literally knew not to go. Like, and all you had to do was a little bit of research. It's wild to me. Look, listen, again, I would never wish this type of thing on anybody. I was telling him before we jumped on to record this video, can you imagine the level of trauma, the level of mental and psychological damage that these people, if they're still alive, are going through right now? It's probably going to be intense. They're going to need many, many years of therapy. And like he said, they have the money for it. But it's wild that like these types of things that can be avoided, because again, it's because of cheapness. It's because of cheapness. That's the only reason why. Apparently, the safety inspector gentleman said there's other materials that this thing could have been made out of, like that would have made it more reinforced, made it better, made it more safe for it to go down to those depths. So it's not like it's material that we haven't come up with or that we can't. Like, no, it's possible. So again, listen, I personally wouldn't wish anything bad on these people. If they're not found by tomorrow, apparently everyone's saying that their oxygen will be depleted. So hopefully they find them by then. I'll be honest with you, I think we're all kind of expecting not the greatest of news given the time that we're at and given how they got the U.S. out there, they got the U.K. out there, they got French teams out there. I mean, they got everybody. As many people that could possibly be looking for this thing are looking for this thing. And I guess there was a little bit of hope. I guess they had heard some sounds or something like that coming from somewhere in the area of where they're looking, which I guess to them gives them hope because they believe those sounds may be of the submersible machine itself. Again, hopefully they find him. I don't know, but hopefully they find him. Hopefully this guy, the CEO learns a lesson, and hopefully, everybody gets home safe and makes it home for dinner. Thoughts on that, my man?
Yes, it was actually that point I was gonna make about them actually naming the Titanic or the actual submersible, the Titan.
Go ahead.
Why in the holy motherfuck would you test the waters with something like that? Did you not learn from history, my man? Did you not know there was a second Titanic? Yes, there was a second Titanic, a Titanic 2. Guess what happened? That bitch sunk! That bitch sunk! And guess what? There was another Hindenburg. There was a second Hindenburg. And that thing fell apart, burned to ashes. All this nonsense. I don't know if you ever heard of that term, never name your boat the Titanic and never name any flying device. What was it? The Hermes?
Yeah.
The Hermes or the Icarus. I forget which one burned their wings. But the point is, Icarus. You don't name the Icarus. You don't name any of your flying or submersibles anything that has a historical precedence of bad shit happening to it. So with the submersible, naming it the Titan, I happen to think happened to have been some kind of hubris there. Again, I don't know for how long it's been underwater. I don't know for how many trips it's done, how many voyages, whatever. The fact that you decided to name it after a very infamous boating accident, for lack of a better term, and still think, oh yeah, we're going to be perfectly fine. Nothing's going to happen to this. We're all going to come out all peachy keen, mission accomplished. Let's just go get lunch. The fact that you want to name it something like that and test fate.
So yeah, they're definitely testing fate with that.
Look, man, I don't want to say they deserve it because again, it's at the end of the day, for the most part, innocent lives that are at stake there. But at the same time, if you told me, hey, my man, we're gonna go on a boating cruise, my man, I was like, all right, cool. What's it called so I can look it up? We're going on a Titanic. Fuck you! I'm not going. I don't give a shit how many safety tests it's done. I'm not getting on that bitch. Something's gonna happen to it. Somebody's gonna die in there. We're gonna crack the entire ship, all the holes. We might hit another iceberg. Unlikely because of global warming and all that. But we're gonna hit something and we're gonna crash. We're gonna die at sea. I'm not going. Fuck you.
Yeah, I couldn't agree with you more, my man. With that, like, comment, hate, subscribe, DM us about the bullshit, and
until next time, get rest and stay blessed. We'll see you on the next one.